Manager of the Month award. What does that, I guess, say about your January and the team's January?
I'm accepting it on behalf of everybody at the football club. I think everybody should be really proud of themselves. It's a nice feeling from the feeling that we've had when I first got here and when I first 3 or 4 weeks, and then a month later we go and get smashed by Colchester. You know, it's horrible, but it's tantamount to everybody who've all pulled together and working hard. And but it is a curse, so I'd rather just move on. It's about the next 16 games we've got, and we've played too many for me to actually get carried away. We played a lot more than other people, so we're in a false position, and we got to see where we could go. And when you read the previous scores against everybody, we've lost 7, drew 6, and only won 3. That's why I'm not getting carried away. We've got to improve massively to do anything, and that's all I'm concerned about.
What are the biggest improvements you have made, and what do you think are the biggest improvements still to make in that case?
I think the group of people are enjoying themselves. They're encouraging themselves and others, and they're enthusiastic. So much so that even if we go one behind, it doesn't bother them. Last week proved it all. That was a really close game until we put the subs on at the end. They got a man sent off, basically for looking like he tried to feign 2 free kicks out of us, which is ridiculous. And I think it's the togetherness, you know, from a group that wasn't together. You know, for me, that is marvellous. Love the club, love everybody at the club and everything about it. But now you can see that they want to come in, they want to go to work. They're not frightened of anything. They're working together. And, you know, how the senior lads are with the younger ones is quite incredible. More or less the same group of people. So really thankful for that. And it's nice to feel better about going to work, because it wasn't easy and it wasn't nice. And as the old chap said at the senior Christmas party, "Can I have the mic?" And I gave him the mic and he went, "I think you need to stop talking, mate, and win some games." So that's what I've tried to do. He was right.
What's the areas you want to sort of drive forward on the pitch specifically? What do you think the team can still improve on?
Well, letting goals in, winning the ball back easier, not giving it away so much, a bit more movement in what I want, but everything other than that, they're encouraging each other how I want it, they're enthusiastic, and they're enjoying what they're doing. Even if it hasn't gone well, they're enjoying what they're doing. So, and keep progressing really as a group together. And I'm testing them. Brought a new goalie, an experienced one. So that'll be a test for all of them. And really, that's not my department. Over you go. Mildy, sort that out, and let's go. And I've got experience in the right areas, I think. So, and that's the progression I want. And we won't see it unless we keep winning. And in football, you can guarantee that. Even the best in the world can't guarantee that, can they? And we've seen that this year. If you're Liverpool, it looks like you can. They were amazing yesterday. Absolutely amazing. But we're nowhere near them. So let's keep going, really. That's all I want. Enjoy what you do. Put this over there. That's for them. Thank you. But it doesn't mean anything, does it? Whoever gets that. I've had them before. You just got to keep doing what you're doing, really. That's all. And it's our job to point out what they're doing well. So onwards and upwards, really. That's all I can say.
What's prompted you to bring in a new goalkeeper in the end and why Connor?
I just feel the balance of the football club where we are, the lack of a senior player. I've got a senior coach who's probably as good as anybody I've ever worked with in Steve Mildenhall. And it's about the investment in that area. I don't think we've invested enough in experience. So 24, they've both been excellent. But when it comes to it, have they got enough experience to help the team and look around and help the team when the team needs them? I think it's a big ask. It's a big ask. And I've decided to change it. And luckily enough, I got a very experienced one who I think will help the group. And I've told him if he don't, he can go back. I got no issue with it, because what we have to do is challenge each other. And I think you'll see it's not always an old person I bring in. I spoke about needing senior players, so Tom hasn't scored yet, but I think if you look at the points we've got since Tom Nichols has played and started, we've only dropped 2 points in 5 games. I think Joe Wesley coming off the bench and starting has lifted everybody else in the club. I think if you look at Glatzel, he's looked at him and thought, hang on a minute, and here we go, and that's what you want. And it's about who I can put on there at the end and change, and when we look around in that dressing room, what experience have we got when we're in these tough games, and that's why I felt the club was wrong, because of all the other clubs I've ever had. So that's why I've done it, and if people don't like it, I don't care. I don't care. Deal with it. It ain't about you, this is about the club, and we shouldn't be where we are. And I'm not accepting where we are, and where we've just climbed to ain't good enough. So let's just keep going. And if they don't like it, that's my mantra. I'm sorry, I'm not having it, because we should not be, as a football club, where we are. On what we're spending, with the size of the gate, with the size of the crowd, the potential uplift we could have if people saw us playing well and doing well. It's unacceptable to me, and that's how I'm looking at it.
Does Connor sort of have quite a big personality to bring in as well, and can he start against his old club?
Not allowed to start against his old club. Gentleman's agreement. To be honest, after talking to Connor, I didn't care about that. He was fuming. He wanted to play. And sometimes you don't. With goalkeepers, it's very difficult sometimes, because if you look at their careers, they're out on loan, they're doing this, they might be 3 years somewhere and only play 3 games. Even Steve Mill, don't know how good he was, he's had that. So it's all about, we're very lucky that Jack's had so many games. I think he's had 104 at all different levels. Daniel's not had so many. He's also got over illness, which is incredible, wonderful for the young man. Terrifying for his family, but wonderful for him. He's only played 50, so I brought someone who's played nearly 300, so I just think it's right. Do you know what I mean? That don't mean he's got God-given right to play in my team. It doesn't at all. But what it does, it changes the demographic of when we look around and what are we doing when things aren't going well. And I don't ever want to see that Colchester moment again where everybody's like, ugh. I'm not saying that's the goalie's fault, I'm not. I'm just saying a lack of experience, a lack of data in this whole football club was wrong. I don't feel it is anymore. That makes sense.
Yeah. You're talking about your kind of record against the teams you've not played. One of the things you haven't done is beat a team in the top 7 yet. So is that another kind of goal to aim for, another sort of way you can measure, hopefully, your progression?
Well, Grimsby were up there, weren't they? I think we beat them when they were close to 6, I think, or 7, maybe. Yeah, no, we've got 9 teams up and around the top of the league. So this is the acid test. What can we do? Can we keep going? Don't get me wrong. The results we've had I wouldn't want to swap them. I wouldn't. I'm delighted with them. But this is the challenge. I asked them, can you win 3 games in a row, the most important week of our lives? And they did it. So I'm delighted with that. So now I've got to set some new goals. And when I look at our goal difference, when I look at the points we picked up on the road, it's just not good enough. Really is not good enough. So let's just see if we can continue encouraging how to. It's about how as well. And they've done it really, really well. But I think the more we attack, the more we look to go and score goals, I think the better we look. And that's what I want to try and continue. Can we do that against the better teams? I'm not sure, but we'll have a go. And I will be trying to win every single game, because I can't stand anything other than that. Do you know, did Tottenham try and win yesterday, or were they just hanging on? You know, did Tranmere try and beat us, or were they just hanging on? I will have to try and win games. Do you know what I mean? And we won't always be good enough. McGoldrick showed us that, didn't he? Good gracious me. But we still had chances against them, and they were good chances. And I believe with the 6 that I've got now, with the rotation I can do, some of them chances we will take. Can we get enough? Can we keep clean sheets? Can we stop them scoring? Are we good enough to keep this run going? And wow, I'm so excited about it, to be honest with you, but I don't want this to block what we're doing. It's been a fantastic couple of weeks, couple of months even. And let's see if we can carry this on and be consistent. But I'm loving everything about us. I love the way people are taking my decisions, and there's a big test for the goalkeeping department. But I know Mildy could sort that out. So, I don't know, the lights just went off. Yeah, it is what it is. We don't know, do we? So, I'm hungry for us to be where I believe we should be. It's a big challenge for this football club to try and get where I believe it should be. And I'm not going to lower what I think we should do. Not for anybody.
Sorry, you have Grant Hall and Joel McGregor back coming up with that picture. Carlisle, are they available now?
They're available for selection, which is better than they were last week. I don't always see eye to eye with my medical staff because they try and protect them too much, but I have to say my lot are brilliant, and they're liking me a bit more this week because I've said you can have those 2 next week and give them a bit. It's all about the numbers. It's all about how many minutes and how much of a stress on them it is. I went against them with Tom Nichols, and I got lucky. Tom didn't get injured, so I won't do that again. I can learn new things.
And last one, the chairman's have been in the country for a couple of weeks now, so obviously you've dealt with them a lot remotely. How is it kind of chatting to them face to face, and are there sort of issues around the club or things you want to implement that you've been able to make progress with?
Without a shadow of a doubt, yeah. He's someone I can work with. I think he's finding me very different to anybody he's had before. I do say it how it is, but I think he quite likes it. Yeah, we had a meal on Wednesday, which is my day off, and we went to the restaurant that we'd booked, and it was closed. And he coming from Australia on that. I said, well, what about you? And he wasn't married with you, but it was funny. So we ended up in Nando's. But no, it's nice. It's nice to, obviously it's nice that we've won when he's been here as well. But yeah, I've got nothing I can say other than good things, and I'd rather not say them because other people don't feel the same way. And as I told him, that's your problem. It's not my problem. My problem is trying to win you football matches. Your problem is trying to win everybody else back over. And it's not doing the same things, is it? So I'm not getting involved in any of that. I'm getting on with the football, which is my job, as that very clever old chap told me near Christmas. Stop talking and win some games, mate. And he's right. I said I will when we can play some. Thank you.
Good luck, thank you very much.
You didn't ask you about the injuries.
Well, I did, but you just said about that.
No, go on, ask me again.
Oh, okay.
Is it? I got the fit ones back,
No,
but
that's all right. So
go on about McGregor and yeah,
No.
you got them back. Is there any knocks or? Sorry, I shouldn't tell you.
No, that's fine.
No, but I want to answer it so the fans know.
Yeah,
I've decided. You didn't know that.
If you want to put it out there. So Hall and McGregor back, has everyone kind of recovered from Carlisle okay, and how are things otherwise?
No, they haven't. Unfortunately, we've got 2 casualties, Ollie Clark and Gav Kilkenny, both hamstrings that I won't risk. And also, Coxie, George has tried to come back in training and his foot was too sore, so he's not available over. So, interesting. 2 back, 3 out, but there you go.
So when you say hamstrings, is that kind of, sort of resting early on medical advice, or do you keep
they're not badly done, but if we did use them and I risked them, they could could flare up and could cause problems, so I can't risk that at all, not with those two. So I'm not going to. I have a plan, a cunning plan, as Baldrick used to say. And he's from Bristol, isn't he?
Tony Robbins.
He was Tony Robbins, yeah. Have a cunning plan, my lord. But we'll see. I mean, not being funny, it's a nice problem to have. I got 2 others back, and I know I'm not going to risk them, so I'm not going to make them worse. Hopefully they'll be back next week, and we'll see. The closer I get, if I got a fully fit squad, then I got some issues. I might have to leave some big errors out. But as I've challenged them, what do you want me to do? You want to be a good club and a good strength in depth, or you want to be a great club, great strength in depth? So I think they know the answer, and I think they are seeing me try and do that. God, he's tapping away there. I can almost hear that. It sounds like it's raining outside then. But no, I said that many words.
I'll stop it for a second. Ross, another player's been injured for a while now. It's Harrison Minton. Is he any closer to returning?
No, he's had an injection to try and help that process. He didn't make the same process as Joel, so his was slightly worse. And as far as I'm concerned, he's had an injection to try and get rid of the inflammation in that area, which is not an easy place to have a problem in your groin, where everything you do as a footballer is all related to the core. So it's not good for a young man to have that. So hopefully it'll be. I had 2 Gilmore groin operations. Horrendous. Absolutely horrendous, honestly. Your inguinal rings sewn back together is not fun. 6 to 8 weeks, horrible. So he hasn't had that, he's just had an injection. And even that's not nice. So I cringe when I think, you could see my face, it's awful. But it's so restricting you as well. It restricts you something terrible. You can't push out. You even trying to get your leg out of bed on the morning, it absolutely kills you. So there's no way. You lose all sort of power. So hopefully Joel won't get that, but Harrison has. So hopefully the injection will sort that out.
You were talking about goals then, I think before Carlisle, you said winning that game would massively influence what you thought the team could do this season. So what are the goals now? Because when you came in, it was promotion and cup, and then it was don't get relegated.
The goals are to try and chase the people above us. To an extent, we terrify them. And we actually might catch them. Some of them. So, if we can win 4 in a row, why can't we make that 5, 6, 7? But we got the tougher test. We've got the people at the top now. Can we do that? I think we've played some of them. I think we played Wimbledon and give a good account of ourselves. We drew 1-1. Scored a great goal up there. And you could argue we should have lost that game 2-1 by the end of the game. But I don't think so. That was a free kick. But this is a challenge, and life is a challenge every minute of every day. When what you've got to try and do is keep pushing these thoughts at them and seeing, and that's what I'm really pleased with, that when I do say things, I think they're listening. I wasn't sure at first, but I think they are. So I want us to be progressive with how we're playing and try and take on the best teams at the top and try and score and try and beat them. That's what I want to do. And we've got to prove whether we can or not, because at the minute we only got 15 points out of the same fixtures. Out of 48 points, we got 15. And I'm reminding them that today. Only 3 wins, 6 draws, and 7 defeats. It's not good enough, is it? So we've got to improve massively, which we have over the last couple of months. Can we do it over these next few? And that's when it matters. Can we serve when there's pressure on? I think we can. We've done it right down the bottom, so come on. Why can't we do it? But are we good enough to do it against the better ones? We'll have to wait and see. There's no guarantee of that, but our forward line, right, if we can continue to think about how we get them the ball and when we get them the ball and what we can do. We scored from 2 goal kicks last week because they couldn't deal with us. That's just like people playing against us before. So we've flipped it, come on then. And I like our balance up there. I like whoever I put on. It doesn't matter who I start. It's about who I can add to the mix at the end. So that's the challenge. Can we do it? Can we finish how we've been going over the last couple of months? Because if I was them, with us with no pressure, I'd be worried about us catching them if I was them. But can we do it? And I'm saying it. Why do you think I'm saying it? I want it to fall on deaf ears and all go crashing to the floor and end up with egg on my face, or do I actually believe we might be able to do this? You don't know me well enough. You'll have to ask me whether I'm serious, but I am throwing the gauntlet down. Come on in. If we'd have lost one of those 3 in that week, we've played too many games. That's our problem. The amount of games that we've played, we're in a false position at the moment. So we need to make up every single week. We can't afford to drop 2 points against these lot. A draw is not good enough, in my opinion, because they beat us in the first game. We might be able to draw against Grimsby away, for example. So we've got 4 points out of the 6. But we cannot draw against anyone who's already beat us, because you will not end up towards the top of the table if that is your scorecard. That's what I know. You need at least 3 points off of everybody, and then try and get 4 or 6 off of some, and then you might end up at the top of the table. We have already conceded too many defeats, in my opinion. So we're behind the black. Can we come out of the snooker and hit the right ball? There is no room for error. So next week I might be saying, actually, no, we've ruined our season. I hope not, but that's the pressure we're under. But I like that sort of pressure. Let's see if the lads do. They haven't even heard me say this yet. There we go.
When Jamie Russell left, I'm listening to Clonantley Hall, and they kind of said they'd review that position after the January window. Now you've kind of got through that. Would you want someone to come in a sort of, whatever that role may end up being, is help you on the recruitment side? Now you know kind of how that would go as you on your own, or do you feel like you can fill that side yourself?
If you're asking me, do I need to replace Jamie Russell, I think that's a very unfair question. I didn't work with Jamie long enough. He actually got me the job here, so and I wish him all the very best in what he does. But the things, we had problems. They sacked the manager and then they sacked him, so I don't see me having any problem working with anybody that I've got here at the moment. So do I need anyone else in that line of position? No, not really. I don't think so. But that'll be for me to talk to them about, to see where we go forward. I think there's some other things that I might need that I've told them about on Wednesday, this Wednesday, in face-to-face, so made it totally clear what I felt we need, and that's all I can do, so we'll have to wait and see, you know, but I think Jamie's proven a success because he's given me some players that I haven't really had to change, have I? I'm glad I haven't brought 13 players in, trying to make them into a group right now. Good luck to Mark Hughes. He's taken over, you know, good luck to that. Wow, what a challenge that is for him. And can he do it? Yeah, he's got experience. He's got data. But I'm glad I didn't have to do that. And I've talked all along about this group and the group and the group and the group and the group. And they need to, I think you can see it. And that's why I'm accepting that award, for the fact that they have turned into a group. And the fans that are sending me messages on my Instagram stuff and saying I'm back and oh, this is great and all, that's fantastic. But the lads are earning that by the way they're playing, and the staff have been absolutely, you know it, it's incredible. Just walk down that corridor, you got Rog giving you a coffee whether you want one or not. It's just unbelievable. The whole club is moving the right way. So I've put some things in that I want, but I couldn't be happier. Could not be happier. My wife's happy as well, and that makes me happy, so I think she's happy. I'm out of the way.
Well, thank you very much.
Those things you want, I presume that focuses quite heavily on pathway and 21s or B team, or how you develop your own players.
Yeah, it's all about development, club development, and our identity. How are we going to get it? How does it stick? What do you do? And the good clubs don't change that. They might change the manager, they might lose their manager, but they don't change that. They select their manager on what their club wants to do, and they then bring him into it. So that's what Brighton have done, that's what Brentford have done. And as I said before, they've got the advantage of being run by gamblers who have these syndicate of people who work for them with all this, get their own data, and it even beats the bookie, so wow. But we won't be able to do that. But what we'll do is try and get there slowly but surely, working towards the enthusiasm of the players and what have you, and what to do with these brilliant young lads that we're making, and try not to sell them when they're 15. That don't help. But it's trying to find the right way and the right balance, because if I take all of them and I got them in my squad next year and I can't bring in one senior player then, and how is that balance going to work? They won't be ready to win us games next year. It'd be suicidal to ask them to do that. But in 3-4 years' time, they might be fantastic players for us, who care about the club, who've been brought up by the badge, who the fans love. He's one of our own. And, you know, look at the Arsenal kid at the minute, Lewis Skelly. So, you know, you should behave yourself a bit. Calm yourself down, son. I won't be allowing him to do those things, but never mind. Yeah, it's really important that you get somebody who's one of your own. And we got Joel, we got Harrison. Jack was brought up by somebody else, but he's from the local area as well. So, you know, why not? But you've got to learn how to do it. You've got to get that right. And I've just shown them some pointers about where I think we might be able to go. But it's all about building and moving forward. And the first team can help us out if we can continue the progress we're making. But please don't think that's already done. It doesn't work that way in football. You're only as good as your next game. Roger Federer is only as good as next serve.
Speaking of the Brentfords and the Brightons, did you ever find a chance to take them to a...
Well, it's not just them either.
No,
It's Notts County as well. Notts County have done a fantastic job of building, and they've done it in a way. So all of these things are being looked at behind the scenes, and the way that I would like us to move forward is being suggested with great response to it.
Did you get the opportunity to go and look at a club you mentioned early in the month? That you
I didn't
went
do
to?
it. I didn't do it, but the chairman has.
He's gone out with Grant.
Yeah.
What was his response? I presume this came up in conversation.
I'd never seen a smile like it, to be honest. He's got a great smile on his face, so that must mean good news.
So it's encouragement for you for getting what you think is needed.
It's not. Well, what my job is to try and help him with the investment he's got. Because if that investment would have gone down, how bad is that investment? And he's not used to failing. That's one thing I do know. But it's an education, I have to say, for me, and I'm loving every minute of it. Meeting people, seeing him, speaking to him, working with the people I've got here. Absolutely fantastic. Honestly, I've loved every minute of it, so long may it continue. And that's down to what we do from now until the end of the season, for what I've said and how it looks like and what we might be able to do about it, And the more I see, the more infused I am, and hopefully that will feed back to the players, and it's about them and how the goalie's going to respond to each other, and if they don't do it right, I won't be happy, because it ain't about them. It's about us. It's not about you, son. It's about us. Where are we going? What are we doing? Club this size. Come on. And that's what I want. And in the end, the club will then attract people who want to come to it. And it'll all have a boost of energy, which is exactly what we need. We haven't got it yet, but we need it. Long term, we need it. Because how many years haven't we had it for? So, you never know. You never know. We'll have to wait and see what we do this Saturday, because if we don't win and we only get a draw, that ain't good enough for me. So, but I believe we can do all sorts of things, starting this Saturday, isn't it?
Three sort of quick housekeeping bits. Dan Barton, in terms of his involvement with the squad here, is he training up at Norwich but remains available?
No, he's training here. Connor's not available for Saturday with a gentleman's agreement. I didn't have to do it, but I felt it was right. When you look at the other loans I've got, Dan makes it 6. They're willing for us to possibly keep him on that, let him train with us once a week, and if we need him, we've already got him, which is brilliant of them. Speaks volumes for the boy himself as well. And we'll see, that's all with them at the moment, but technically he's going back after this Saturday. And whether I get him back again on a 1 day a week basis, I don't know yet, but they might leave that open, or they might loan him out somewhere else. But I couldn't be happier with him, how he's taken it. And that's what I expect, you know, whether I put him in or whether I put Jack in, no matter what it was now we've got another Connor. So come on, let's see where we go. And life's about a challenge, and I'm looking for everybody's response every minute of every day. I never rest.
Harrison, you say he's having this injection. Is there any indication for the medical team whether this means that maybe his season is run at this point? Is there hope that he might be able to?
Yeah, there's hope that he'll come back before the end of it. But he's definitely further back than Joel is. Joel's available now. He's had an extra, that's 2 weeks. That'll be nearly 10 days on the grass and training with so there's no adverse response to his twisting, to his turning. That's what could go wrong. Touch wood, it hasn't. The same with Grant. And we might be another 5-6 weeks away from seeing where Harrison might be. So hopefully he could come back at a very interesting time of the season.
And lastly, Miguel's been back in training with you this week. How have you found his response? What conversations have you had? And how is that reintegration process going?
He looked like a new fella. Had a great big smile on his face. We had a hug, and he was much fitter than I thought he would be for a person who's been out for 3 months. So again, I might have to wait another week at least for him to be there, but it was wonderful to see him play. And wonderful to see how he moves and how he runs when he's fully fit and got a smile on his face. So no, it's really important that I help him as well. Really important, definitely to me and definitely to the lads. They didn't think that was fair, and they want to make sure that they help him. If he does leave this club and go back to his own club, that he goes in a wonderful state rather than a bad state. So I think that's commendable from everybody. And I think you can see the smile on his face. There was a shot that Callum took of him in training. It was joyful, it was wonderful. I never saw that before. So I'm going to tell him it's just because his hair is a bit longer. But it was definitely, I'd never noticed his teeth before being so brilliantly white. I think that's the first time I've seen him smile. But life's life's good. It's a wonderful place to be, and he's more than happy to be back. So I'm delighted with that. Is he fit for this weekend now? So I might give him that extra week next week and see where we are. But delighted to have him back.